Hello and welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today we're going to be doing the Splendorous Sky That Day questline. So we can unlock the event and then do the event. When we passed this way a moment ago, Paimon heard some kind of bonk-a-donk. Could there be some treasure buried around here? It would be a shame if we missed out on it. And Paimon's getting excited already. Let's check it out. This? Found it, found it. Paimon wonders what it is. A mysterious drum. This one has a cryo marking on it. Huh? Oh, come on, this is no treasure. It's just some tattered old drum. We don't know what it could be used for either. If you brought this back to the academia... Yeah, let's bring it back to the academia. That's right, they might want to hear more about something we found in the desert. Paimon's not all that interested in this studying stuff, but if we can make a little this and that off their budget, why not, right? Hold on. There's a note over there at the side. It might just hold some clues. Nameless Adventurer's Notes. This time, I've been commissioned to try to find a local order and obtain information about something known as the Sign of Apayosha. I must say that remuneration seems quite outsized when compared with the mission content. I hope I won't get caught up in any trouble. I reached the entrance to the Tamir Mountains with the help of an Eremite mercenary, but he refused to continue onward, saying that this was the border of war. Must be some sort of desert dweller superstition. Contrary to what I was told, seems that these Nagar Junits are not very friendly to outsiders. Looks like I will have to try infiltrating their ranks. I finally managed to make it out. Thankfully, these people are pretty civilized, so I managed to get away with my life. As I saw, these high remuneration commissions always have something fishy going on. Looks like an adventurer's work doesn't suit people who just want to earn some quick mora. I'll just leave this drum here. Maybe someone will pick it up. That way, I guess I won't totally disappoint Miss Catherine. Huh. Let Paimon see. Huh? It seems to have been left by an adventurer. The sign of Apayosha. Paimon's not super sure what this guy's talking about, but he sure is irresponsible, leaving a commission unfinished just because it's hard. But since that's how things are, let's head this drum over to Catherine and let her reassign someone to complete whatever commission this was. Okay. Did I grab that teleport point? Yeah, okay. Gotta make sure I grabbed it. I don't want to have to run all the way back again. Hello there, Daruma. How have your recent travels gone? They've gone quite well, thank you. I've heard about your previous adventures. It seems that you've become very experienced. As long as you keep going, I believe that will only be a matter of time before you become a truly great adventurer. Speaking of adventurers, we found this on one of ours. This was left by some irresponsible adventurer. We thought it'd be bad if the commission he took never got resolved, so we brought it back here. The mysterious drum. Indeed. This item is key to a particular commission. Thank you very much. The commission linked to this drum is a very important one from the academia, and is also critical to the expansion of our operations. Unfortunately though, we have previously given this commission to various talented adventurers. They have all invariably failed. Oh boy, here comes trouble. Well, this is an issue that even the academia cannot solve, so we did expect a relatively high failure rate. Actually, Paimon's getting kinda curious now. What sort of commission is this anyway? Simply put, a recent star observation by researchers from the academia led to the discovery that the northern skies have become blocked by a strange, heretofore unseen phenomenon. Concerned that this would have a great impact on the accuracy of any astrological calculations, the academia immediately put people together to investigate. This resulted in them delving into ancient records, within which they found mention of a strange phenomenon known as the sign of Apaosha, which bears strong similarities to the recent occurrence. According to these records, the celestial sign appeared after the disaster that engulfed most of Tibet 500 years ago. Although the circumstances of its eventual disappearance are unclear, its position has been determined to be near the Tamir Mountains, at the northernmost region of the desert. However, that area has only ever been sparsely populated. Even when the ancient desert realms were at their peak, they did not extend that far. And after the cataclysm 500 years ago, that place was one of the areas worst affected by the encroaching abyss due to it being connected to an ancient underground realm. Since then, it has been declared a restricted zone by the academia. The only people who still live there are a mysterious darshan known by the academia as Nagarjunites. The Nagarjunites? Though they seem like legends to the average person, they were once a darshan of the academia, albeit one that split off 500 years ago. Then the researchers who wished to fight the monsters from the abyss banded together and traveled to the depths of the desert. And the Nagarjunites are an organization comprised of the people who stayed there in the end. That said, it has been many years, and they have branched off further and further from the academia. They even seem to have developed their own academic traditions. Seems that they also worship a form of energy known as Kaharavina. This energy communicates with them in the form of spirits. Well, I feel that I'm going off topic now. The academia believes that this faction is strongly related to this celestial sign. However, they have not been able to establish contact with this group and, as such, have commissioned the guild to assist in their investigations. This is a win-win situation for us as well. Ruins related to Kanria are located nearby, but exploration in that area has been declared taboo by the academia until now. If this commission is a success, perhaps we will be able to participate in future expeditions to those ruins. Since you have heard me say this much, why don't you take this commission on? Well, no, I mean, you're just finding someone to step to the plate, huh? Hardly. It is following careful analysis that I have found you best suited to this task. After all, your pioneering spirit is something rare, even amongst adventurers. So after all that, it sounds like we just need to look for those whateverites, right? Sounds like it'll be pretty easy, and we'll get some more from the academia too. Yes, that drum you picked up was originally given to us by the academia to be used as a token of good faith in our dealings with the Nagarjunites. Just give it to the organization's leader. It stands to reason that they will have some way to solve this problem. I believe in this task in your hands, Sid. I've marked the rough position of the Tamir Mountains for you. Ad Astra Abysask, traveler. May you inscribe a new legend in the desert sands. Gavarina, good and evil. Okay, so that's what the whole quest line is going to be called. That must be the sign of Apaosha, huh? A huge hole with lots of horde stuff oozing out of it. I wish it stayed a bit longer. Salt? Well, we're finally at the place Catherine mentioned. This desert here looks pretty different from what we've seen before. Let's see if we can find any campsites nearby. Who are you? You guys don't look like tribespeople of the desert, more like adventurers from a faraway land. But no matter who you are, this is as far as you will get. please go back. We are here to resolve the issue regarding the sign of Avaosha. Sign of Avaosha. How did you know this name? We are adventurers who have an organization at our backs. Catherine of the Adventurers Guild told us, of course. Since you know of the sign of Avaosha, you must have heard of us Shamania, Order of Skeptics, right? The desert past this point is a restricted zone under our guard. As a ranger of the Order of Skeptics, I cannot let you pass, no matter what reason you may have. The Order of Skeptics? My apologies, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Pyro, a member of the Order of Skeptics in charge of guarding this place. Order of Skeptics. Paimon remembers that Catherine told us to look for the Nagar Juicites or something. Look like Pyro isn't the one we're looking for. Nagarjunites. That's just a derogatory name that those guys from the rainforest have for us. Lord Nagarjuna is a hero who fought against the monster, Dev, alongside the divine bird's ears. He gained divine powers through the rite of Shinvat and put an end to the calamity. Wait, why am I telling you outsiders this? Are you two spies from the academia? We're here because we accepted a commission from the academia. So the academia folk have been reduced to hiring some no-name adventurers to do their dirty work, eh? Cowards, just as I saw. I thought they might send some mercenaries over at the worst. What an oversight on my part. Paimon didn't expect you to have such a strong opinion about the academia. Of course, Lord Nasaraya has said that we wouldn't have been reduced to this state if it weren't for them. Wait, so you are here to gather intel after all? I've revealed more than I should. Anyway, please leave. If this conversation continues, as unwilling as I might be to do so, I would have to end you. What? You're the one couldn't resist blabbing. Why are you putting the blame on us? Also, there's no need to be rash. Alright, Jaruma, show Pyro the token that Catherine gave us. He'll know what's going on once he sees it. Token? This had better not be some trick. Ta-da, look. Told you we weren't lying. And we show him the drum. What is this shabby drum? You call this a token? Eh? Did Catherine mix things up? Guys don't think you could bribe me with such a small thing, do you? Leave now or things will get nasty. Don't you underestimate us skeptics. I guess bring it on. Are we seriously gonna fight?
Illusion shattered.
Brace yourself. Everyone hold hands.
Well, they're much of a fight. Cease, I say. Lady Sarush, why did you? You didn't have to attend to such trivial matters personally, let alone in front of these outsiders. We pari appear before whoever we wish, and our volition is not for you mere mortals to question. How dare you overstep your bounds? This little thing is about Paimon's size, and the way she talks is kind of funny. Why is Perot calling Lady that reverent tone? Your sins will be judged, but the time for that is yet to come. You, the two of you over there, as envoys of the academia, it is only polite to state your names first, no? Yeah, we should have introduced ourselves first, but that high and mighty attitude of yours is... My words and actions are not contrary to the traditions and principles of the Pari. The same cannot be said for you nameless persons. Fine. We're not nameless. Paimon is Paimon and he's Jaruma. We're adventurers who came here on a commission. We are here to look for the Order of Skeptics? Nah, I'm the one who's an adventurer. Hey, we adventure together all the time. I need only know your names. Your other trivialities do not concern me. However, as for that drum, the item has a profound connection with this Pari, and is not something that you mortals should possess. Jaruma, I command you to present it to me immediately. No way. At least sound nicer about it when you're asking someone for a favor. Besides, this item is important to our commission. We're to hand it to the leader of this order of yours. If we give it to you and fail to complete the commission because of that, not only might we lose our reward, we might even have to pay more to the Adventurers Guild. That's a huge loss. Reward, Mora? To think that you would risk your lives in a place fraught with peril for such frivolous reasons. You know nothing of what transpires here. One mistake would send your race tumbling into an eternal samsara, and yet you commit deeds that are beyond even our comprehension. You humans are such interesting beings. No matter, I shall bring you to the leader you speak of. This item would remain worthy tribute even if you should only present it to me after that meeting. That's more like it. Wait, that's still not right. We still have to deal with that huge hole in the sky, and if we don't... Huge hole? You refer to the sign of Apaosha then? And you wish to quell this calamity with mere mortal coils? Ha! How presumptuous. It is the duty of us Pari to eradicate the sign of Apaosha, an endeavor that I, Sarush, shall give my all to accomplish. To quell this calamity, I must follow in the footsteps of the divine bird Simurg, and sacrifice everything that one might call Sarush. To stand in my way is not a sin that one such as you may bear. Simurg? So she plans on killing herself. Foolish beings, have you not heard of the divine bird Simurg? She is the master of Kavarina, who once saved the land from destruction. Legend has it that it was she who split into infinite motes of whatever after her sacrifice, thus quelling the catastrophe. I'm sure, but Paimon doesn't think that we'll need you to sacrifice yourself. In any case, this matter is far beyond your capabilities, and your intervention is futile. All you must do is bear silent witness as I transcend. You shall receive remuneration from the guild of yours so long as the calamity is quelled, will you not? Still, do not forget to extol my virtues and laud my accomplishments. After all, even the greatest heroes shall require mere mortals like you to sing of their deeds. But Lady Sarush, the Vajrampita whatever, has instructed us to forbid suspicious individuals from interfering before the ritual is completed. I have decided, and as a Pari, my word is law. Alright, follow me. I shall take you to the leader you spoke of. But gird yourselves all the same. That which lies ahead is not a place that human beings can easily set foot in. If you get lost, or end up being eaten by some monster appearing out of nowhere, there shall be nothing I can do for you. She really talks a big game, huh? She's so annoying, she's not even all that large. Path ahead has been opened. You merely need to follow the floating far leaves there. We Pari may be regarded as one in body and mind with the land. Words of gratitude are not required. Come on. Alright, kill these. Yep. Even these have been occupied by the dead. These monsters move. Teams at the side of the posture must be extinguished.
Here we go.
What do you mean, Dev? Aren't these just abyss mages and hilichurls? To think you would so easily defeat the rampaging Dev. Your strength is most radiant indeed. Consider me impressed. Though there is still quite the gap between you and us Pari, the sight of you fighting valiantly reminds me of those humans of legend who once fought alongside us. I have decided then, you shall have the honor of being my Yaznapati. Yaznapati? Paimon doesn't know what that is, but coming from you, it can't be anything good, really. Do you not have such things amongst humans? Strategists, scribes, and the like? Those who exist to praise the heroes whose stories they exist in? Neither of those jobs are what you described. No matter how great the hero, their great deeds must be recorded and sung by others. If not, the same fate that befell ancient heroes shall befall them also. Though they may have loved violence and conflict, great deeds are still great deeds, and they deserve to be remembered. Alas, those who loved conflict would be consumed by it, and once they had slain each other, they were all lost. And because there were no authors or poets to tell of their deeds, once all who had lived in such times were gone, their works forgotten to the last, I will not be like them. My great work shall shine so gloriously that the world itself would suffer great loss to not know of it. Thus, I shall now give you permission to record those deeds. Rejoice and give thanks, for is this not a grace that few receive from us pari? This all sounds very complicated, but basically you just need someone to tell you how awesome you are, right? And couldn't you find a skeptic to help you out then? The skeptics? I may admire their spirit, but other than their leader, whom you mentioned previously, the rest are not fit for such work. They speak all day of how conflict is the true nature of this world, but they have themselves lost all ability to engage in such. None of them will be able to witness my sacrifice to its end. Whatever the case, it has been decided. Fret not. You shall be free to do as you please once I have sacrificed myself to restore the pure skies. Till then, you shall witness my valiant form. Well, sure, even if Paimon can't see it. She looks pretty cute, but her attitude is just the worst. Then we should go on about us and we and such. There aren't others like her around, are there? Just thinking about it makes Paimon a little ill. Path here is now dotted with gray crystals. When I last left it, it was not yet so. Gray crystals? You mean the crystals we're seeing everywhere? Paimon's had her eye on them for a while now. What are they? Gray crystals are remnants of the black fire embers, proof that this land has suffered great calamity. The calamity? Indeed, I am sure you've heard of the great catastrophe struck long ago, where dark fire rose from beneath the earth and scorched the land. The dark fire opened a bottomless hole in this land, and the demons of death that crawled through that gap nearly turned this into a lightless realm. Though the gap was blocked by the great tree, the dark fire's filth spread like seeds, and the countless dark and painful memories released by that corruption began to lay down roots and sprout. This persisted till the honored lord of whatever, the divine bird Simurg, drank the primordial water left behind by our god before transforming herself into Kvarana of all kinds of scatterings across the land. From that day on, the Kvarana has taken the divine bird's place in defending this land, and those painful memories that leaked out have been sealed by Kvarana. What was left are those ubiquitous gray crystals. Though they seem no different from any other stone, they may contain objects that are yet to be purified. Gray crystals in the area have increased of late. I suspect that this must have something to do with the sign of Apaosha's dark power. But if we use Kvarana's might, we can get rid of these crystals. If my senses do not deceive me, a wandering Kvarana should be nearby. Let us look around. Okay, I assume it's in here. Yeah. Gray crystals are crystals left behind by the remnants of corruption. Use the power of Kvarana to clear them out. But once said power retreats, the gray crystal will re-emerge. Okay. No, I just walk with it. Crystal melted. Well then, I did not misspeak, did I? The Crown awards the Great Earth. The cultivation grounds of the Order of Skeptics lies just up ahead. Come on. Okay.
What you got?
I'm gonna avoid fighting. Talk to the leader of the skeptics. Lady Sarouche, Kavrana's envoy, you have returned. Though it's taken much work on my part, the analysis of documents regarding the rite of Chinvat will soon be completed. According to my research, we need only collect all the great songs of Karana next, and your great work may then be completed. Wait a moment, you two are... Do not fret, they are Daruma and Paimon, my newly chosen Yaznapti, and his companion. They are here to witness my great work. Hey now, Paimon hasn't agreed to that yet. A Yaznapati, you say? Though I will not question your most astute judgment, I fear that allowing ignorant outsiders into this land before the rite of Chinvat is complete may have untoward effects. Know that the people of the Academia surely do not desire the rite's completion. Speak no further. I have my reasons for doing this. Well then, take that drum from before out, Daruma and Paimon. You bring the drum out, as agreed. A Corybantis. Corybantis, you say? Haha, yes. This is an important catalyst for the ritual needed to forge a Lapa connection between ourselves and the party. I have searched for many years for this, and I think it now comes to me. Ah, this is indeed a good omen for my future plans. It would be good if the fates will also be with me when I lead the Order of Skeptics to throw down the Academia and burn their house of Dinah, or whatever they call it, to the ground. Wow, what a way to casually paint yourself as the villain, huh? Villain? Academia are the true villains here, have no doubt of that. Ah, I forgot my introductions. I am Nasjuna, the Vijnapati of the Order of Skeptics. We who cultivate ourselves here, if you would use the terminology of the Academia, would be the equivalent of a sage. But I doubt those pampered folk would care much for what we at the margins call ourselves. You do not look much like those Academia might send. We're just passing adventurers. Fair enough, though in truth, it would not matter even if you were to be from that dreaded place. Even if the entire Corps of Sturdy were to be sent here, the plans could not be halted. Well, whatever your plans are, we didn't come here to stop them, that's for sure. Ha! So they would all say, those treacherous lots from the Academia, and when my guard is down, you would stab me in the back. Just like those people in funny masks who try to skulk about and steal our academic tones. They even dare to attack our honored envoy of Kavran, Lady Sarouche. And they met defeat at my hands, each one of them. I'm guessing those were the Fatui? The Fatui? I know not of what you speak, but they were city folk, but I doubt the Academia would be far behind in the shadows. Do not look upon us as some miserable few who inhabit the Demir Mountains. We once had such numbers that all of the desert north of Mount Damavand would struggle to hold us. It is only because of our harsh environment and the slander and ostracism by the Academia that we have been reduced to this. If it was not for such sage souls as myself holding things together and the protection of Kavrana, we skeptics would have been reduced to nothing long ago. Sounds like quite the disagreement, yes? Catherine said that you have your differences, but it sure looks to Paimon like you skeptics really hate the Academia. Say not hate, but rather that we simply cannot coexist. When I was young, I did not go there to learn in an attempt to mend our differences, but they treated me like an outsider. I did go there to learn. Okay. Though they feign politeness by calling us a branch of the academia, this is not but a means to belittle us. It is said that our predecessors had a class of ideals with them, so chose to go into the desert to stand against the darkness themselves. From that day on, we have been holding firm in the war against defilement, defending our land, and what have those useless losses been doing in the meantime? Compared to those pampered pedants, we who combine thought, word, and deed far better deserve honor for our wisdom. Paimon doesn't quite get it. You need only understand that conflict is the true nature of this world. Kavrana and impurity, dowry and the true way. It is these struggles for supremacy that have kept this world alive, just as surely as the sky does. Those sophists and their fancy darshans believe that the fates of all are inscribed in the skies, and that this is the supreme wisdom and truth. But look, the skies reflect defilement itself. Surely their truth, then, is an imperfect thing. Perhaps nothing is truly perfect. Think you thus? That we might yet be friends. If time permits, we may discuss this issue in more detail. Nasaraya, this is not the time to talk about such things. Have you not seen how the great crystals hem us in even more tightly? If we do not extinguish the sign of Apaosha soon, things will grow most perilous indeed. Well, speaking of the sign, right, that's right. We were tasked to fix this whole thing, but after all this talking, we still don't know what it's supposed to be. Well, our plans also involve extinguishing that celestial mark. As for what it is, if it must be described as anything, let's call it the water surface. The water surface. Your explanation's just making things more confusing. The water's reflection, while an illusion nonetheless, hides the truth within itself. So it is with the skies. It is like a mirage, if you have seen those before. That big hole up there is way spookier than any mirage. Well, it should be, for that celestial sign reflects an otherworldly hellscape. Long, long ago, Dauri Kanria once built a factory here that connected them to realms beyond. During the great disaster, which they say that Dauri started, monsters swarmed from that very facility into the nation of the world. The monsters tore open a great rift that came to be called the Tunigi Hollow, and though they were sealed away with the new vein of the ancient tree, this mysterious sign appeared along with it. What the sign reflects is that which lies beyond the dark rift, and though the monsters cannot enter Tabat through that illusion, it nonetheless radiates corrupt energies. They say that our very first Vijnapati extinguished that strange sign together with Tapari, but as the power of impurity has strengthened over time, this ancient symbol has appeared once more. And should we leave it be, who knows? The hollow may truly re-emerge one day, and the ancient war will be reenacted. In truth, it might be interesting to live in such exciting times. What? No, that wouldn't be interesting at all. It matters not. The Murg drank the Amrita left behind by our gods, transmuting herself into limitless Kavarana. As the heirs to the divine bird, solving this problem is the mission that we Pari have. Sarush will surely leave behind a work great enough to be her equal. Of course, Kavrana's envoy, and we of the Order of Skeptics shall surely help you see your duties through. What's with all this talk about sacrifice? Is that really necessary to solve this problem? Well, in truth, I do not know. All documents regarding the signs of Apaosha have long been lost, and the traditions and rites surrounding it have also ceased to be passed down. If it had not been for me constantly looking up what documents were left, there might not have been any more left to know that the rite of Chinvat existed at all. According to my research, the Pari are the descendants of Samurg, and should therefore also have the power to transform into Kavrana to purify the land. And would you not say that a grand sacrifice to save the world on the part of the divine bird's ears very much suits our order style? What? That's so haphazard. The sacrifice you're talking about doesn't sound like a small thing either. Why aren't we thinking of other ways to solve this issue? I'm not sure there's gotta be some alternative, right, Juruma? It's always been this way, hasn't it? I'm very good at my job, after all. I already said that you need not interfere. Simply witnessing my sacrifice shall suffice. It is something worth celebrating that we Pari should sacrifice our lives to purify the earth. Well, you say that, but I would ask that you keep a respectful distance from that which you do not comprehend, outsiders. But since this is the case, well, I was planning to investigate the Tunigi Hollow to make preparations for the rite of Chinvat anyway. Why don't you come along? I trust that you also wish to see the scars left behind by a fissure that once led beyond our world's bounds. When you see it, I believe you shall understand. Well, Paimon is kinda curious. A sound plan. In that case, I shall lead the way. After all, you would find it impossible to freely traverse this land where Kavrana battles against impurity. My Yaznapati, follow me to the end. Watch me complete my mission. Pari are very mysterious creatures, and as the bloom guard of her race, Sarush can replace your character to fly and move. When Sarush is in a flight, your character will stay in place and await her return. While in flight, Sarush can ascend or descend, and can use the accelerate skill to increase her flight speed. Sarush cannot be too far from your character though. A bloom guard should never abandon others after all. Sarush can call upon the special energies within items around which mysterious mayflies dance. Press Sarush's interact skill to allow her to use the power to guide the might of Kavrana. Hold her interact skill to cause her to stop and continuously channel Kavrana's might. During this time, you can control your character freely. As a Pari, Sarush can also perceive some things beyond normal human sight. In that case, let me take you to the place where my fated sacrifice shall take place.
Tourist spots.
My Yaznava and this, I shall simply call you Pale Floater. You are, after all, as foolish as a specter. Objection. Paimon's not going to take that coming from someone who's something. No. Okay, this is still the Splendorous Sky That day, huh? Okay. And we got half this area lit up. Is that deep pit the Tanigi Hollow you were talking about earlier? There's super huge crystals all over the place, even bigger than the ones we saw before. They look scarier too. These were once huge trees used to seal and subdue the creature of the dark depths. The power of the defilement has corrupted them, warping them into such forms you see now. Since monsters have been sealed, it sure doesn't look like anyone needs to sacrifice themselves again. That is why we must use the power of Kavrana to reopen the way. Hey, wouldn't that just release the monsters again? They took so much effort to seal too. No, I mean that we must open the path to the sign of Apaosha. The way to the rift in the earth was sealed long ago. It can never lead to the true darkness again. But that is exactly why that sealed rift does indeed connect to the illusion of the abyss. We need only use the great songs of Kavrana to stabilize the seal before initiating the rite of Chinvat to pass through the darkness and reach the sign. The rite of Chinvat? There is ritual performed by the Pari that will allow us to open a path through the darkness. It is said that the first Vijnapati, Nagarjuna, and the Pari did just that. But we must first obtain the great songs and gather the power of Kavrana in order to initiate the rite. That's all well and good, but what will we do once we reach that side of the sign? I do not know what happens after that. I have encountered legends that our first Vijnapati Nagarjuna was lifted up to the heavens, where he used divine power to extinguish the sign, but that, I feel, is mere myth. I believe that Kavrana's envoys will have some way. Since they can purify the defiling impurities, they must also have some way to extinguish the sign. Huh. Does Sarush not also say that she wishes to imitate the sacrifice of Smurg? The world is built upon conflict and sacrifice, after all. Well, that's what Sarush says, sure, but that's way too irresponsible of you. Oh, don't fret. Before the necessity of any sacrifice can be ascertained, we must still bring the great songs of Kavrana together. At the moment, we have yet to take even the first step forward. Uh-huh. Says the guy who just been talking this whole time. Well, basically, only the Pari who have been chosen as Bloomguard can touch the great songs. But our current envoy, Lady Sarush, has yet to obtain that right. Is that so? For all that bluster, you really aren't all that, huh, Sarush? You dare speak to me like that, pale floater? Well, Paimon isn't a pale floater. Only by obtaining the Twin Horde Chaplet may she become the Bloomguard, of being able to gather the power of Kavrana. As such, she must first be acknowledged by the Lady Zurvan, the first Pari. She is a mighty Pari who once fought alongside our ancestors. It is even said that she was a very Pari who fought alongside the ancient heroes to subdue the Embers of the Abyss. But that elder of ours is utterly unreasonable. She refuses to acknowledge my dearest desire. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do about that. Still, even without the twin horn chaplet, my sacrifice will suffice to accomplish this deed. Of course, I do not intend to doubt your desire to sacrifice yourself this way, but if you are unable to perform the rite and pass through the Dark Hollow, your wish would not be fulfilled nonetheless. However, I do have a suggestion. Lady Sarush called you her Yaznavi, did she not? Why don't you go with her to the Vorukasha Oasis? That is where Lady Zurvan may be found. Perhaps Lady Zurvan may yet change her mind should she see that we humans view Lady Sarush as a predestined envoy. And why aren't you going? Well, as for me, she would certainly look down on a bookish man like me, considering her many years of experience. If she looked upon me, I doubt she would ever change her mind again. This is the only method we have at present to change our current situation, so please, do go with Lady Sarush to the sacred place protected by the Kavrana. Aren't you a sneaky one? Looks like you're the only person coincidentally out of a job. Of course not. There is much I must do. For example, the preparations for the rite of Chinvat still must be done. I must also consult the words of the ancient scribes once more to ascertain the locations of the great songs. As for the Kori drum you brought, I believe I may now form a connection with the Pari who sleep at present once more. Their awakening is necessary for the rite of Chinvat to occur. Regardless, I leave the matter of the Twin Horde Chaplet to you two. Once everything is complete, let us meet at the campsite upon the Tamir Mountains. Oh well. So we have to look for that Pari Elder, right? Well, let's hope she isn't as nasty as the Roosh is. Okay. Aw, damn. That's a big travel. I'm gonna focus on getting the... Granted, I could just cut ahead there. But I want the... What's it called? Waypoint. I mean, it's not too far out of the way. We're definitely gonna find a way to... Oh, okay, so it's an equipable. Okay, should I go for that waypoint too? Since I'm right here. I think I will. Is it up or down? Well, it's gotta be up. There's no way, yeah. Mm-hmm. Nerota fruit. The Nerota fruits are born by special plants that have been nourished by the Amrita, and their juices contain the same mysterious power. Press the Rush's interact skill to cause her to harvest Nerota fruits and gain the ability to throw them, using their power to stand against impurities. As they contain Amrita, the Nerota fruit's juices can melt through special crystals created from the solidified Amrita. Okay, so I can suck up power from that and shoot at the ambers. Basically. Of course, that was really out of the way. I like the way it comes in and leaves. Continue onward. Bones? Hmm. Whoa, the crystal here looks like... Could this be one of those Winnet that we've seen before? How did it get trapped here? Hmm. So you call these children of an ancient dragon the Winnet? Still, it does not have a sinful form. Perhaps it was merely unlucky to have been caught in the crossfire and sealed here. Well, maybe it's a good thing it's been sealed here. If not, it might just pop out of the ground and swallow us all in one go. I don't think you'd be very good to eat Paimon. Paimon's not sure how to feel about that. You two certainly look like you get on well. Of course, we're the best of buddies. But is it not also said that even constant companions would fail to notice if the other was spirited away by a sprite? These stories are quite common too, yes? What are you talking about? Drumu would never do that. Ha, I merely jest. If you are bosom buddies, surely some idle jokes would not move you. Hehe, we shall soon reach the Vorukasha oasis. Come, let's hurry. Oh, I want this waypoint. There's one higher there. Is it like above ground higher or? Yeah, it's gotta be. As a form of Karana scattered upon the earth, fair wicks contain that same power and will stick to your character once picked up and affect nearby great crystals. You could also put a fair wick down when you need it to unleash its power. Okay. I don't know what this is about. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good, a waypoint. Just like Nagash, the defiled energy is oozing out of that huge gap. Looks like there's a large tree stump down there too. The energy coming from it seems too opposing. Paimon doesn't know who or what that is, but let's go over and... Man, there's a lot of running. Paimon didn't think that there'd be such a huge patch of green on the other end of the mountain. We were just in the desert too, how strange. Impressive, is it not? It is our homeland, after all. The homeland of the Pari. So, there will be lots of other people like you here, right? You know what? Paimon's not all that keen on going. Should you not be excited beyond words? And the big tree stump over there looks like it's holding off the stuff oozing out of that big hole. This is the harvest, the sacrifice form of the god that has granted us Pari life. It is not just some large stump. That's a god? Well, we've seen other gods, but this is the first time we've seen one looking like that. That is because our god cannot be considered alive. 500 years ago, our great god gave all to quell the power of the disaster afflicting this place. But she was stained with corruption, and could not be reborn in a purer plane. Thus, her divine consciousness continues to wander the mortal realm. Our great god left us with the sanctified Amrita, and the Lord of Verdure caused the Harvi to grow from that, thus anchoring our god to this realm. The Vorkasha oasis has been nourished by the Amrita, and even the Kavrana that defends this earth gains its unending power by the grace of the Amrita. But this god of yours doesn't look too well. She's been trying to hold out against this stuff coming out of that hole this entire time. Her power maintains a seal over the Dark Hollow. I fear that the emergence of this sign is due to the attraction of the evil power. If it were not for the presence of the Harvey, the defilement surging forth from that hollow would have affected the world. But it is also due to performing its duty that the tree has deteriorated so much. I do not believe that I could ever bear to reduce such a state. That is why I must leave a legacy of heroism for all to remember before it does happen. Well, never mind that first. Let's go look for this Durban person, shall we? If we get that chaplet and fix the sky real quick, that might make your god feel all better too. Couldn't we, go ask Nahida? She could go look at the, tree and get the information for us, couldn't she? Aw, damn, I think I missed one over here. No, I came through here. We'll be able to see the Elder once we get out of here. You aren't getting nervous, are you, Sarouche? Impossible. Do not second guess me frivolously. Definitely looks different. I guess the wrinkles around the eyes are to make it look older. Well, if it isn't Sarouche, such a rare guest. It's been a while, Elder Zurban. Elder? Well, if you call me that, then you should follow Pari norms and cease consorting with those humans whose hearts are heavy with their ulterior motives. I haven't gone against our norms. I've only made contact with humanity to find a way to extinguish the sky fire, just as the divine bird did. And is that why you have learned all that claptrap about sacrifice from the humans? We Pari care nothing for such foolishness. Isn't it our duty as Pari to sacrifice ourselves in the battle against the defiling impurity? Await the call of destiny, Sarouche. Only humans rush in blindly. This destiny you speak of is a nebulous thing. I cannot simply be expected to sit and wait for it. And that is precisely the danger. The chaplet you seek contains the highest authority over Kavrana. In giving it to you, I may as well be handing the power of Kavrana over to those untrustworthy humans. Can't you just have more faith in me, Elder? You two. Looks like we're being left out here, aren't we? Also, it seems like Sarouche loses that cocky attitude of hers in front of Zurban, huh? Perhaps she has other hidden facets to her person. That's a scary thought. Well then, little ones, you came with Sarouche, yes? This is not a place that ordinary humans may visit lightly. Let me see. Well, you certainly aren't from the order of skeptics. You seem to be outlanders, in fact. Well, in matters of courtesy, I suppose you two shall introduce yourselves first. I don't ask humans for their names often, you know. Paimon's Paimon, and he's Daruma. I am Sarouche's Yaznapati. Her Yaznapati. How interesting. She might have had a little misunderstanding somewhere, though. Haha. This is the forbidden land of the Pari. The paradise nourished by Amrita, the shrine at which we pay reverence to our great god. Only heroes who have forged bonds with Pari and pilgrims who have come to genuflect before our god may enter. I shall take it that you are Sarouche's companions then. It has been several hundred years since humans last visited our Sea of Flowers. That said, aren't there a ton of skeptics living outside in the desert? Don't they know how to enter this place? Ha! I shall not permit such discourteous folks to enter our hidden realm. In the past, we Pari did indeed fight alongside their ancestors. We even lived here together. But many years have passed, and folly has grown strong amongst them. Even the traditional rites have become utterly forgotten. None living amongst them now can forge a lapa with a Pari. They should have been the ones to conduct the rite of Abzor for the tree that suppresses the Dark Hollow, thus cleansing it of the filth that stained it. Yes, the deterioration of the tree cannot be avoided, but if they had not neglected the rite and caused the seal to weaken, this terrifying sign would never have reappeared so soon. But human tradition is unreliable in this fashion. Compared to them, you outlanders, blank slates as you are, certainly seem more dependable. Paimon's not sure if they're actually praising us or not, but we're here too. I would guess that you were here about this sign in the sky. I doubt that anyone would notice our little nook if not for this great crisis. Well, we were commissioned to deal with this large hole, yeah. Oh my, oh my. So it is as I guessed. It seems that even after so long, this short-lived race is as short-sighted as ever. Still, if it were not that way, would you even need us Pari to act on your behalf? Looks like Pari are just pretty nasty as a whole. Regardless, since human heroes have again graced our secret garden, it seems the gears of destiny have begun to turn once more. And you seem to be an interesting human being too. Ah, that takes me back. Once upon a time, I too traveled alongside humans, as curious as you to quell a calamity. Perhaps you really might equal their great deeds. Well then, it's decided. I shall give you a chance. The two of you certainly seem more trustworthy than those blind and foolish skeptics. Elder, shouldn't you put your trust in me instead? Well, as for that, you do know where Roshnu and Mahir are, right? Go bring them here. They should still be enjoying their beauty sleep right now. This will serve as proof of your trustworthiness, and I will be able to give the chaplet to you. Oh, Paimon knows. So this is the kind of seal that everyone needs to get together to break, and then we could get the chaplet, right? Ah, such impoverished imagination. The chaplet can be given to you at any time, but to solve the issue of the sign of Apaosha, we will need their strength. The Roosh alone will not be able to open the pass through the Dark Hollow, not even with a chaplet. This, perhaps, is another example of the rule of three. Paimon doesn't really know what you're saying, but as long as we can get the chaplet, it's fine. Indeed, Daruma, Paimon, do help Sarush out, alright? I don't need help. Haha, you're not very honest, Sarush, but since your elder said so, guess you've just gotta listen to us. Well then, let's go look for these Pari names. Are kinda tough to remember. Roshnu and Mahir. Last time we convened was many years ago now. I know not if they are still as they were before. I'm curious. I could quick start now, but I gotta continue this. But okay. Well, that was the first part. We'll do these two in the next one. So, if you watched this, thanks for watching. We'll continue this in the next one, and I hope you all have wonderful lives. Peace.